Sri Lanka. The Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is ranked 165 out of 180 countries in Reporters Without Borders' Press Freedom Index for 2014. During the Civil War, Sri Lanka was one of the most dangerous places to be a journalist. The Civil War ended in May 2009, but according to Reporters Without Borders, murders, physical attacks, kidnappings, threats and censorship continues, and that senior government officials, including the Defense Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, are directly implicated. During the Civil War, many journalists were killed, assaulted, or went missing. 25 journalists were killed between 1999 and 2011. Dozens fled abroad. Why Ithirai Natazan? Natazan was an award-winning journalist. He also reported for the International Broadcast Group, a Tamil-language radio station that broadcasts from London. Natazan had been harassed and threatened before his death because he had criticized the government and security forces, according to CPJ research. On June 17, 2001, a Sri Lankan army officer summoned Natazan for an interrogation and threatened the journalist with arrest unless he ceased reporting about the army. Natazan was shot dead on May 31, 2004 on his way to work in eastern Sri Lankan town of Batticalow by gunmen belonging to an armed paramilitary group, widely believed to be so-called Karuna Group. Anura Priyantha. Anura Priyantha, a camera assistant for the state-owned independent television network, were fatally wounded by shrapnel from a suicide bomb aimed at President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga at an election rally in Colombo. 5 other journalists were injured by the blast, along with Kumaratunga and scores of onlookers. Priyantha died later at a Colombo hospital. At Patharaja, Nadaraya. Nadaraya was also a member of parliament, representing the Elam People's Democratic Party (FPD), a former Tamil rebel group that entered mainstream party politics in 1990. Political observers in Sri Lanka noted that Nadaraya often criticized his own party in the pages of Thina Murasu and had also expressed his support for Tamil militants. Unidentified gunmen shot and killed Nadaraya, editor of the Tamil daily Thina Murasu, on the streets of Colombo. Gunmen surrounded Nadaraya's van on his way to work. Bala Nadaraya Iyer. Iyer was a media officer and a senior member of the FPD who worked in the editorial board of the Tamil-language weekly Thinamurasian and wrote political column for the state-run Tamil daily Thinakara. Iyer was shot and killed by unidentified assailants on August 16, 2004 in the capital, Colombo. Dharmaratnam Sivaram, a founding member and contributor to TamilNet, and a military and political columnist for the English-language Daily Mirror. Sivaram wrote sympathetically about the rebel group the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam Leti. 4 unidentified men forced Sivaram into a jeep as he left a restaurant directly across from the Bambalapitiya police station in the capital. According to witness accounts, police told the Associated Press that they received an anonymous call early the next morning giving the location of Sivaram's body in Talangama, several miles outside of Colombo. Sivaram was abducted on the night of April 28, 2005, and found dead the next morning from gunshot wounds to the head. Indika Pathanivasan. Indika Priyantha, a camera assistant for the state-owned independent television network, were fatally wounded by shrapnel from a suicide bomb aimed at President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga at an election rally in Colombo. Pathanivasan died instantly of shrapnel wounds on December 18, 1999. 7. Isli VZ Champion. Announcer Isli VZ Champion were killed in a Sri Lankan Air Force airstrike. Fighter jets dropped a dozen bombs on the station shortly before Vellupilli Prabhakaran, leader of the separatist Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam Leti, was due to broadcast a statement. At least 5 other people were killed in the strike against the Leti run station. According to local media reports, He was killed in Killinakshi, Sri Lanka, on November 27, 2007. Lanka Jayasundara. Jayasundara was on assignment for Vijaya Publications, a sponsor of the event and publisher of several English and Sinhala language newspapers and magazines. He was standing in the area between the stage and the VIP enclosure when the grenade exploded, according to news reports. Jayasundara was killed on December 11, 2004 grenade attack at a music concert that had drawn controversy because it was held on the anniversary of a Buddhist cleric's death. Lasantha Wickramatunge. On January 8, 2009, 8 helmeted men on 4 motorcycles forced Lasantha Wickramatunge's car to the side of a busy street outside Colombo and beat him with a blunt object. He died in a local hospital. Milvaganam Namalarajan. On the night of October 19, 2000, a group of unidentified gunmen approached the home of Namalarajan, a Jaffna-based journalist who reported for various news organizations, including the BBC's Tamil and Sinhala language services, the Tamil language Daily Virakasari, and the Sinhala language weekly Ravaya. Parani Rupasam Devakumar. Devakumar was one of the few remaining journalists reporting from the peninsula, a focal point in the civil war between the predominantly Sinhalese government and the Leti, which claims territory for an ethnic Tamil homeland. Conflict worsened in recent years, and a 2002 ceasefire agreement was abandoned in January 2008. Devakumar, Jaffna correspondent for the independent channel News First, was stabbed to death when he was attacked by supporters of the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam Leti, according to Sananda Deshapriya, spokesman for local press freedom group, the Free Media Movement. Punyamurthy Sathyamurai. Sathyamurai, a supporter of the secessionist Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam Leti, wrote for many pro-Tamil publications and frequently contributed to official Leti media. His live commentaries from conflict zones were widely seen and heard on pro-Tamil television and radio broadcasts. Several Tamil media reports said Sathyamurai did not die immediately. They cited relatives who said a lack of proper medical attention contributed to his death. She was killed on 12 February 2009 in Mullaitivu district, Sri Lanka. 13. Rashmi Mohammed, a provincial correspondent for Sarasa TV, was covering the opening ceremony of the new office of the United National Party UNP in Anuradhapura when a suicide bomber detonated an explosive device. She was killed on October 6, 2008 in Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka. Rilangi Selvaraja. Popular Tamil broadcaster Rilangi Selvaraja and her husband, a political activist, were killed by unidentified gunmen in Colombo on the same day that Lakshman Katargamar, Sri Lanka's foreign minister, was assassinated. Political leaders blamed the rebel Liberation Tigers of Tamil Elam Leti for all 3 killings, charges the Leti denied. She was killed on August 12, 2005 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Rahana Kumara. Kumara, chief editor of the pro-opposition Sinhala language newspaper Satana, was shot and killed by unidentified gunmen at around p.m. as he traveled in a taxi to his home in the Colombo suburb of Mirahana. The gunmen reportedly fled the scene in a silver Toyota 300 car. Kumara had received a phone call earlier that night notifying him that a group of men had entered his home and had threatened to harm his wife if she did not reveal her husband's whereabouts. She was killed on September 7, 1999 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Sahadevan Nilakshan. Nilakshan, a 22-year-old journalism student and editor of the student-run Kalaram magazine, was shot by unidentified gunmen at his home on the outskirts of Jaffna. The shooting occurred during curfew hours in an area heavily guarded by the Sri Lankan military, according to the Colombo-based Free Media Movement. The gunmen arrived at Nilakshan's home in Kakaval village by motorcycle. She was died on August 2007 in Jaffna, Sri Lanka. Sampath Lakmal. The body of freelance reporter Lakmal, a contributor to the Sinhala language weekly Saftana, was found in suburban Colombo on July 2. He had been shot after leaving his house to meet a contact on July 1, according to local media reports and the Colombo-based Free Media Movement (FM). He was killed on July 1, 2006 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Selvaraja Rajiwarnam. Rajiwarnam, a reporter for the Tamil language daily Uthaiyan, was aboard a bicycle on assignment in Jaffna when he was shot by unidentified motorcycle-riding gunmen about 600 feet 180 meters from a military checkpoint, according to Uthaiyan staffers. He was killed on April 29, 2007 in Jaffna, Sri Lanka. Shobha. Tamil news presenter Shobha was shown shot and killed in amateur video filmed by Sri Lankan soldiers and obtained by the UK's Channel 4. Journalists for Democracy in Sri Lanka said Shobha died in the town of Mullavattul in the northeastern no-fire zone. The N.